Next question is from Rabuts. I understand that once a particle and audio are separated from Unity, the migration to .NET will begin. How challenging do you think the migration to .NET will be, and how long it might take? Or is it possible that it will simply be a matter of switching the runtime to .NET? So I can tell you, like straight up, it's not as simple as switching the runtime to .NET. The big part, like, is essentially making it so FrooxEngine, so making FrooxEngine run with .NET is very easy. Because that's pretty much what headless is. The headless is pretty much almost all of the parts of the FrooxEngine, just kind of running without the graphical output. The challenging part is the communication, with with Unity, because we do need it to render stuff out. So, we have the FrooxEngine. Oh, where did it go? That was weird. Where did it jump? Oh, I moved. Okay.
Yeah, you moved.
I bumped the joystick. I was like, why did it just suddenly jump to the right? So, we have the FrooxEngine, and then we have like an IPC mechanism. And the IPC, and this communicates, to Unity. So this is probably the most complicated part, making it, communicate efficiently and making sure these two kind of stay synchronized, and, this keeps feeding data in, and this also keeps being like, okay, like the frame is ready, here's stuff for the next frame, and like, the communication is very efficient. We're gonna be using mainly shared memory for sharing the bulk of data, because what shared memory is like literally a piece of memory that both have access to, as if it was their own memory. So like, this one has its own memory, and this one has its own memory, and this piece is shared, which makes it very easy to exchange data, and then we just need to send like, tiny messages communicating when this happens. And this might also happen over this, where it just, puts a piece of data there. So maybe it's all gonna be shared memory, that's not decided yet, but we'll see. But the part is like, for the actual splitting, like the FrooxEngine right now, it still has, bunch of kind of ties, like how it kind of communicates. So the longest part is probably gonna be, unifying this into this. Once the communication's kind of, streamlined, that makes it like much easier to like, just kind of split this up and, run this like in the separate processes. And the hardest part on that one is going to be making efficient. I don't know how long it'll take exactly, like that's kind of hard to estimate before actually starting to work on it. Because usually with these things, you kind of discover a bunch of the problems and issues and so on, like once you actually start working on it. So I don't really want to make an estimate at this time. But yeah, it's gonna be like I don't think it's gonna be like super hard challenge. It's like the hardest part was, just getting everything to the point like where we can do it, if it like it started kind of with the type system, then doing photon dust, and next one's gonna be an audio system, which I think is gonna be the simpler part, and it's the splitting, which is going to be figuring all these like kind of mechanisms. And there's also going to be some mechanisms, because there needs to be some back and forth communication between them and making that like run efficient and reworking that like in a efficient manner.